Yo, what's up, guys? It's Topics here, and welcome back to Vault series. This is Vault number 6 total of patch 11.2, and it's the after 5 weeks of Mythic Plus. So, but yeah, in total, Vault number 6. Just quick debrief. Um, I did get Alt-Varying Nucleus this week from killing Heroic Dimensius, so I have killed Heroic Dimensius now, which is sick. Um, that was challenging in pugs, but I ended up getting into like a guild group that is already progging mythic bosses, so it wasn't too bad. I think we like 3-shot it maybe. Um, but yeah, this is sick, especially for Mythic Plus. It has verse on it, which is tied for crit for a second best stat. And then obviously, most importantly, it's a cheat death that also does damage when you're hit. So since I'm doing 18 keys, this is better than Sack Brood. But obviously, I still would like something like a Myth Track Pacemaker, a Myth Track Antenna, or even like a Cursed Stone Idol for a ton of damage would be nice. I could probably equip that in keys where my life is not threatened. So there are still some better trinkets that I can get, but this is pretty good. It's better than what I had. I probably will not really be stepping foot in Heroic anymore, if I'm being honest with you. Heroic Raid, I'm probably done with it. If anything, I'm going to try pugging the first 2 Mythic bosses to get a shot at Mythic Antenna. That's kind of the loot situation from this week. Let's take a look at Vault. So, yes, I've opened this already, and it's because I needed to sim something, which it's almost done. But just to talk through this, I don't need any of these. This would be great on any other week, but I already have Heroic Track boots, the Reshi Wrap boots that empower your cloak. So we're basically talking about these 3. Now, this got me excited a little bit. A crit haste ring with avoidance. It's Myth Track. So crit haste, really good stats for us. The fact that there's a tertiary in there is really, really good. However, I do only have 2 Heroic Track rings here. But the fact that there are Myth Track hands and chests that are just much higher budget than a ring, I just don't think I can take a ring when I have a Myth Track hands and chest that I would potentially need. So we're basically going to be looking at the hands and chest this week. And so we got to figure out what makes the most sense. So if we look at my loot, or sorry, if we look at my gear here, my tier is on my helmet, my shoulders, my hands, and my legs. The chest is the piece that warriors this season will, or at least prot warriors, will not want tier. The reason why is because it catalyzes into crit mast. Now, I just so happen to have a regular chest piece that's crit mast, but even if I were to catalyze this, it'd be crit mast, and we do not like mastery. So, you actually, if there's any piece you don't want tier, it's probably actually your chest this time, because you can actually focus getting different stats in your chest, like this crit verse one from the Dawnbreaker, or this haste verse one from Arakara, and I think there's one more. Where is it? Yes, this crit haste one from Halls of Atonement. So all 3 of those would be better budget and better stat for your chest piece that you probably will not catalyze. So just keep that in mind. And then these hands are crit haste when you catalyze them, and I already have them in Hero Track. So if I were to take this Myth Track hands, it would go to crit haste. Or I could take this crit verse chest piece. That's better stats that I currently have, and I probably wouldn't catalyze it. So to think about this, as you saw from dungeons, I can get a crit haste or a haste verse. A crit haste or a haste verse chest. But I'm actually probably good on haste right now. Okay, that's with potion. I have 21.5. That's basically right around where you want to be for haste. So it doesn't really matter if I don't have haste on the chest. I would just like to get rid of this mastery. And the fact that the chest piece is the piece that you're probably not going to be catalyzing this season actually makes this pretty appealing. But obviously I could just take the hands that I already have as tier and catalyze them. So basically the way that I'm thinking about this is there's going to come a point where I don't need any more tier. I have Myth Track tier, but I can always be searching for this at a vault. So I think to know that I can take a regular chest from vault in the future is probably the reason I'm going to take hands right now. I just don't know if I can argue over not taking myth track hands when that's currently one of my tier slots, and it would be BiS. But I actually would prefer like a haste verse chest or a crit haste chest over a crit verse. So this is probably, like, out of the 3 that you can get from Mythic Plus, this is probably the one that I would want the least. I'd rather have the crit haste or haste verse, because you just always want something with haste on it as prot. So yeah, so I'm probably going to take these hands, and I will catalyze them, and then I will have my BiS hands. So that is the decision. And yeah, we're also going to get another half spark, so I'm going to be crafting a 720 ring. This one I fully upgraded. This one I didn't bother, so I'm probably going to craft a haste verse 720 ring and replace this. So we'll see what the eye level's looking like here. So slot these in. It's haste verse. It's going to turn into Chris haste, but it's hold on a second. Sorry. I was just double checking something. Yeah, so haste verse is going to turn into crit haste, and you know, I only have a hero track. This is going to be myth track now, so I could actually spend some crests on it. So do this. Equip this. It's just, you know, 3 eye levels higher, but I did hit 712, but it's nice that I have another place I can spend crests, because I'm not spending any crests on heroic gear right now, right? Like, so the only mythic track gear that I have right now to even spend stuff on is this and this belt, which this belt is eh. It was actually simming a little bit better than a delve belt, but again, it has mastery on it, so it's not the best. And you can actually catalyze non-tier items, which I'm not going to do, but just out of curiosity, it would turn into haste mast anyway, which I definitely don't want. So I could spend crest on this, but I'm probably not to, just because of bad stats. So I'll probably, you know, after I craft the 720 ring this week, I can probably spend the rest of the crest on getting this to 723, which means, you know, getting this from 707 to 723 will basically put me at 713 eye level, and taking this from 704 to a 720 ring will also put me another eye level higher. So I should be at 714 eye level later this week, which is nice because I don't see too many people higher than like 716, 717 right now. So I'll only be about 3 eye levels behind like the top eye level players. And for keys, I got an 18 priority, which meh. I need a lot of 18s still. I have 2 18s. I need 6. An 18 priority is like the second hardest one out there, so this isn't the best, but again, the fact I have an 18 in general is nice. So yeah, that's going to conclude this video. It's going on a little bit long now, so I appreciate you guys watching. I'm probably going to do, you know, obviously still a few more of these videos, but we're starting to get into the nitty gritty. I basically just need myth tier in like 2 more pieces. I could, you know, I need like a myth trinket, something else in the second slot here. And then basically just I'm going to end up crafting a neck after I craft a ring this week. So I would say, yeah, probably about, you know, this is week 6. I'll probably do 10 weeks, like I said, beginning. And then I don't think there'll be much more point of doing these, because there'll be so little that I need. So anyways, thanks guys for watching. Peace. Shout out to all the Patreon members. It's because of your support that I'm able to continue making Protection Warrior and World of Warcraft content. Thank you.